Sequels and prequels, they are important. They are important to a game character or any kind of character at all, whether that's movies, TV shows, or like I've said, games. Sequels and prequels can flesh out a character a lot more and give it more depth and more entertainment for the player. And for some reason, unknown reason, Ubisoft does not like sequels or prequels. It is very rare that Ubisoft decides to do a sequel or prequel to a character if his name is not Ezio Auditore. And even then, Ezio was only supposed to have one game. Revelations and Brotherhood was supposed to be a DLC, but it decided to get turned into a bigger game. Ubisoft has this thing where if it's bigger than what they thought it would be, they'll turn it into an actual game. Instead of going, oh, you know what, let's just make sequels in general to flesh out a fan favorite character. Connor Kenway could have been one of those characters that could have succeeded a lot more with a sequel. Connor Kenway was not exactly loved on his release, so having a sequel for Connor Kenway to flesh out his character, to flesh out so much more than this brood stoic assassin, this brute of assassin, to evolve him more, would have definitely helped him out more of an assassin and a character in general. The Fry twins, Jacob and Evie Fry, could have definitely done with a sequel 100%, because unfortunately they had two things that made them suffer for their game. Their game was unfortunately off the back end of Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity at this point was just horrendous in the minds of the fan base, and to be honest, it just wasn't looking good. No one wanted another Assassin's Creed. They still had a bad sour taste in their mouth, and they just wanted something else instead of Assassin's Creed that year. Now unfortunately, the Fry twins were shown as goofy goobers.
Oh, what's this, Greenie?
Assassin Christmas.
And just, it didn't play well, especially for the time period that they were a part of. Especially for the time period, like, you can't tell me the Industrial Revolution is a good place for goofy goobers. You cannot tell me it's a good place. Yes, have some light-hearted moments. Light-hearted, not goofy goober. If you have Goofy Goober in a place like the Industrial Revolution, it is not happening at all. And that's unfortunately what happened. Now, we saw a peak. We saw something nice. We saw a brooding side, a very smart side of Jacob Fry. We saw something different in both characters in the Jack the Ripper DLC. The Jack the Ripper DLC is definitely something what Assassin's Creed Syndicate should have been. More brooding, serious, beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was something good to see. I mean, at the end of the day, you should have definitely had that sort of mindset going into the base game. Unfortunately, we will not see a sequel at all with any of those characters or any of those kind of characteristics at all ever again. The only time we will ever see that ever again is if you want to replay the game and replay the Jack the Ripper DLC. Having a more serious Jacob and Evie Fry, seeing how they were when they were young, and then also seeing them how they are now as old Master Assassins, would have done them plenty instead of just leaving it how it was. And talking of Assassin's Creed Unity is again a game that should have had a true, proper sequel. Now, what would this sequel necessarily uphold of? Well, in the Dead Kings DLC, we do get introduced to a kid thief called Leon. Now, Leon could have definitely been adopted by Arno to then be trained by Arno in the Assassin Brotherhood ways, and then, you know, here we go, the classic mentor trope. We could do that 100%. I wouldn't mind that. There's so much that we could do, especially to a more older and more wise Arno. All these characters, half of these characters that could have a sequel are goofy goobers at the start, and then if you have these sequels, they are wise master assassins, and we get to see this blossom of a character and we get to see so much go through, but unfortunately again Ubisoft just decides to move on to their next character. Now this sequel is definitely important. This one definitely needed to happen. I still think it should happen, and I still think that maybe we could possibly get it if Ubisoft decides to be nice. Now, here's the thing. The character I'm going to be talking about is not the Goofy Goober, is not a haha funnies. He can be haha funnies when he wants to with kids. However, this man is the founder of the Assassin Brotherhood. This man is so serious, he is terrifying. This man decided to get a knifed mask and shove it into someone's face. This man is so dangerous, you will shiver your timbers if you hear his name. His name is Bayek of Siwa. Bayek of Siwa is definitely the character that definitely 100% needed a sequel. Now, why may you ask? Is because, my dear listeners, because he is the founder of the Brotherhood, well, one of the founders amongst Aya, who needed this sequel. You cannot give me one DLC, one character with the founder of the Assassin Brotherhood. If you give us more on how the Assassins evolved and their ideals, how he introduced those, and everything else, because we got everything else with the Leap of Faith, we got that, and the Ring Finger and the Hidden Blade, we got that in the main title. I just feel having the ideals that they had at that time with the Assassin Brotherhood before Altair Ibn Ahad, I feel like it's definitely good to find out why their ideals are like that, and I feel going through Bayek is a good idea. Now to Ubisoft, I know you ain't listening, I know you ain't watching this video, but if you give your characters more sequels, let them bake in the oven a lot more. If you let them just cook, let them simmer, let them simmer, give you the keys to your bimmer, you should be all good, you know? It's not a bad thing to have sequels. You can't just keep giving us the, oh, your parents are dead trope, your son's dead trope, your whole family's cooked dead trope. You can't give us that trope constantly, because at the end of the day, if you give us these characters with the same trope, we are not going to see any difference apart from the story that they go through to either be an assassin or their role as an assassin. We need more personality. We need more pretty colors. You know, we need the oh my god kind of that's sweet kind of thing. We need the we need the noms. We need the nom-noms, because we don't get the nom-noms, right? These characters that you're going to be putting out, these characters, these beautiful characters that could be on Ezio's level, that could be on Altair Ibn Ahad's level, could be integral way for you to get the monies. You know, Mr. Crab, you like the monies, don't you?
Congratulations, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
With that in mind, because you like money and you like the good moolah, you like the cheddar, because you like the cheddar so much, why not give us sequels? Why not give us prequels? Basim is a person that needs a sequel. Yes, he had a prequel, but now he needs a sequel. The reason why he needs a sequel is because we need to know how this relationship between Loki and Basim is going. We need to know what happens between this time between Basim then and then Basim in Valhalla. We need to know so much. There's so much space and so much gap, so much potential in a sequel. How does Basim meet Sigurd? How does Basim do so many things? How does Basim get to where he is? How? We need to know these things, Ubisoft. We need to have these sequels, flesh out these characters so that we care enough that when the story keeps going and when these characters pass away and when these characters die, we actually care. So I think sequels and prequels matter in Assassin's Creed, and they should happen a lot more than go, oh, this game's too big. You know what, Jeff? You know what, Big Dave? You know what? Let's make it its own separate game. So instead of doing that, make sequels, make prequels. I'm pretty sure we all will not mind that. So with that in mind, I'm gonna leave this here. Ubisoft, get on sequels, get on prequels, because at the end of the day, the more you flesh out the stuff, the more moolah, the more cheddar. So, I'ma see you in a bizzle. Take care and drink water. I'll see you in a bizzle. Take it and peace.